Environment Day to you all. Today we are in the situation of COVID-19 because of our negligence and not believing in prevention. So let's start a movement from mask to no mask and take our generation into the happy life ahead and stay happy, be happy, keep environment happy around you. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon, live from UK, Sasriyakal, Namaskar. Welcome once again to the Shibani show, 4 o'clock UK and 8:30 India time. Today's show once again is sponsored by C4 Integrate Wellness Mumbai, and we are highly privileged to have them always on board. All money that is raised through this show goes through IL UK sponsoring a widow. Today's show, you would think, what is it all about? Here I have just before watching or going on live, I heard a TED talk by Rita Pearson. Every kid needs a champion. If you haven't, then please don't forget to watch, and it will transform your belief about educators and education. Education is just like the law of conservation. It says it cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, it is transformed from one to another. Education starts from the time the child is born. A child's first teacher is his mother. Your teacher, your guru, need not be a very learned person, as sometimes even a young child would say such a beautiful thing that you would soon realize that that was something new and nice you have learned. As a teacher myself, I learn every single day from my student, from different sources. I learn to rap. I use the social media. I've even learned to use TikTok and even the latest slang from my students. I also realize that I have not even grown old over the year because I'm constantly surrounded by these bubbly young students of mine who inspire and motivate me with their praises and excellent results. They often call me I'm their role model, and I feel so proud about it. Today's show is all about this wonderful relationship between a teacher and her student. I have an amazing personality on my show who has achieved so much in this field that my one episode of Triveni will not be enough. She's an author. She's won numerous awards for her dedication as an educator. Without wasting any more time, let me introduce this beautiful, vibrant, and every student's role model, Dr. Sagareeka Roy Bhatia. Sagareeka, thank you very much for accepting my invitation, and I take a great pleasure in having you in my show, The Shibani Show. How are you today?
Shivani. Thank you so much, Shivani, for having me on your show. Well, I'm doing excellent, as usual.
It's really nice to really think that you could dedicate this time because I know you're a very busy person. But thank you once again. Now, let me ask you a few things because I'm curious, just like my viewers, that something about your childhood. Let's start from the beginning. My audience want to know what inspired you because if you remember, and I'm sure you do, and my audience should know, we both come from the same school, Sanjeevan Vidyalaya, Panchgani, and it's a very elite school in India. So I would like to know more about your childhood in school rather than me telling.
Yeah, sure. So, I was born in Sri Lanka. Thereafter, my parents moved to Nigeria. And because my parents were in Nigeria being a third world country, and the education system not being very robust, they chose Sanjeevan Vidyalaya Panchgani, which had an environment, an Indian environment, because my parents always believed in us being brought up in a very Indian environment and a very naturalistic way of growth, with greenery all around. And they were also very impressed with the Rabindranath Tagore's teachings that were always the backbone of Sanjeevan Vidyalaya. So being a Bengali, that was just the idle space that my parents would want me to be there. And of course, it was a very, very, very elite school. So the kind of vision, the kind of mission, and the virtues that we learnt over there are absolutely noteworthy. So, and also, since childhood, I had been seeing my dad being in the position of, executive director, all those positions, but he was always a person. He was always a person with a humane attitude. The way he brought up his his colleagues with him, and his interpersonal skills, his intrapersonal skills, and his eye for detailing, and also at the same time the way he cared for the whole human race in Africa. He did a lot of work for Africans being there while in Africa. And my mother was always supportive of him, of doing such things. He worked with the UN over there. And seeing all these things since childhood, the way that they had been working for the community, for the society, for themselves, and the leadership skills that they displayed all the time, and the family bond between my mother and father, and that whole ecosystem that they had around them really motivated me a lot. So it was always in my subconscious mind that I need to be like them. So a lot of things that I've imbibed from them, I see now, whatever I'm doing, I see it coming a lot from my family background, and of course my school background. The school has done a lot of good to me. Had I been in Africa, well, I wouldn't be able to discover myself. But this was a school where they spoke more about holistic approach, holistic development of each and every child. So I learned to dance, I learned to sing. I never knew that I was good at running, and I really I discovered that I was a marathon runner, and even now I run 21 kilometers hill marathon. So, and then I sing now. I sing, I even dance. So all these are the qualities that, over a period of time, that have been inculcated. My teachers back in school at Sanjeevan Vidyalaya, they really identified these qualities in me and then nurtured them. The best thing is, everyone has qualities, but nurturing those qualities in a child is what the school should have as its vision and as its mission. So that is something, after having it there, sky has been the limit. And yeah, here I am in front of you.
I totally agree with you, Sagarika. I would say Dr. Sagarika. And you would know we have Mandar here. And each one of us, Mandar says Sanjeevan rocks. It's true. Today, what you are, what I am, we have gone beyond of what we usually can do. And
Yes.
everyone, we have so many inspiring students. Some are politicians, some have been so down to earth. We were in school with some of the elite politicians, some of the elite prince and princesses during that time. But despite of it, we have been so grounded, all of us. And if you know, Mandar is a very, very close friend of ours, and he's a director and a producer, and he too won so many awards. And this is all the product of Sanjeevan. And I could name so many, and truly I agree. Sagarika, you're absolutely right that our parents mold us. At the same time, the place where we educate ourselves and our teachers. So as you as a teacher and me as a teacher, we don't treat teaching as a profession. It is embedded in us. We are in love with the profession. I want to ask my next question to you, that what inspired you to be a teacher?
Yeah. So, as they say that, the environment, a child is a product of the environment. So, always coming from that particular school, watching the way our teachers were, I always had it in me that maybe someday I would love to engage myself with children, because I really am very passionate about working with kids, very, very passionate about working with kids. But somewhere, I think I had lost myself. I started working, I started having a business of my own. I was exporting leather goods. And then suddenly, maybe, that's what was God's plan. things really didn't work out very well with the business. And then I thought that maybe teaching is the right place where I am, because that is what I was passionate about. And I got into teaching, and that was around 1998. And thereafter, there's been no looking back, absolutely no looking back. Children amuse me, and my love for children, it only just grows more and more the way I see them grow, from grade 1 to grade 2 to 3 to 10. And right now, all the students that I have taught, most of them, I have them with me on social media. I interact with them, I find out what are they doing in life, and I still learn from them. As you rightly said, that you learn so much from children itself. So this is what inspired me, that is a love for children. And basically, I also realized that somewhere, the society is changing, and it is very important to address these needs differently. Not really, but then if I need to address these needs differently, as a professional, as an exporter of leather goods, I really can't do that. So the best profession would be a teacher, if I would like to see the change in the society. So that was what got me into teaching. And once I got into teaching, I have been, it's not only when I say I'm a teacher, it's not only, I'm just not a teacher. I mean, I play various roles in the classroom with the children. Sometimes I'm a mother, sometimes I'm I'm their friend, and playing with them on the ground. Sometimes I dance with them, I sing with them. I mean, while I was a French teacher in school, I used to teach them so many French songs, and we used to rap on the French songs. And then I have also been a caretaker while I take them on trips. I've traveled with children to US, to France, to various countries of Europe. I mean, I've traveled vast with my children. So, parents lay their trust on me. And that's the time when I'm their parent also, I'm their chaperone also, I'm their guide also, their tour guide. I mean, I've played various roles, and all these roles have only brought the best out of me. Today, whatever I am, I really owe it to the children whom I have been teaching for now 24 plus years. And it's been a wonderful journey, Shibani, wonderful journey. And I'm very
I
happy to speak about it. Yeah.
totally agree with you. Every word you said is absolutely correct. And I tell you, as a teacher, I relate so much with you. Everything you have said. And I said in the beginning that we learn so much from them. They inspire us, they mold us. But at the same time, Sagarika, I have taught in India, I have taught in Dubai, I have taught in Abu Dhabi, UK. I have seen the education is, although you teach the same subject or the same knowledge, but the kids are different everywhere. It's the culture also. What sort of challenge did you face? Even because I know you taught in different schools, you were a head teacher, you have even counseled teachers, you do workshops. I have read your profile and it is outstanding. As I said, one episode is not enough for me to talk about all the development you have done. Can you throw more light on it? And if you faced any challenges during your tenure as a teacher?
Like, I think, yeah, I lost you. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, you are talking about different cultures in different countries. Let me tell you, Shibani, there is different culture in Mumbai itself, in one city of Mumbai. While I started my career with Podar International School. So I had children from Bandra, Khar, Santa Cruz, those. So those children are they're a very different crowd. The parents are literate, parents are literate. They are business owners, and they are well traveled children. The exposure is more. Thereafter, then I moved to Villeparle, SVKM, and when I moved there, we had the neo-rich. Normally, SVKM, these are all the neo-rich and those kind of crowd. So when you have the neo-rich, then the psychology of the child is also very different. Thereafter, when I went to South Mumbai, it was a totally different experience itself. Those were the children who were the elite ones, who were absolutely elite, who came from, from families which were mostly joint families, who had a very strong value system. They were not nuclear families, whereas my Villeparle parents, my Khar and Bandra parents were mostly nuclear families. But the South Mumbai parents, very surprisingly, were all from joint family, elite families. So then they're kind of the way they were brought up itself was very different. So that whole approach towards those children was very different for me. And thereafter, then I moved to absolutely to the south, to the outskirts of Mumbai, to Mira Bhayandar. And when I moved to Mira Bhayandar, it was absolutely different. That was the emerging society. That was the emerging society, the society which aspired to have their children into international schools. So mine was one of the first international schools there in Mira Bhayandar, wherein I started the school and I was the founder principal of that particular school. So those parents, actually, many of them were even first generation learners. Though they came from good families, the families were business house owners, but yet many of them were first generation learners, and an international school really did pretty well over there, because that's what the parents were looking out for. That generation, they wanted to move out, they wanted more exposure, they wanted to see the world, how the world works. So having an international school in that area, the suburban of Mumbai, added more value, because an international school has an international curriculum. The case studies are all international. All the case studies, the content is totally international. So that is something that really excited the parents. And as a principal, I added a lot of value in that particular area. So this is what I gained throughout. So it's a culture shock for me. Everywhere that I traveled in Mumbai, in every school, it was a different culture. And it is the best thing is, if as a teacher, if you can mold yourself to that particular culture, and if you can really imbibe whatever speak the language that they would like to hear, is what makes
Absolutely.
you is really what makes you lovable. And if children love you, if the parents love you, so I think you can really change, you can really bring about that change, and you can drive it. You can absolutely drive it. And I think I'm very blessed to have served in so many schools in Mumbai, and that has really taught me a lot of lessons, lot of
How
life lessons, I
beautiful.
would say. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so beautiful knowing your wonderful experience. I've got so many viewers. I've got Gurdas Dadwal. He has always been an excellent supporter. He's a lawyer himself, solicitor, to be honest. And Gurdas says teachers create future rulers, and people who will take society forward. That's so true. And Mandar says that it's a noble profession indeed. Shinali says, hats off to teachers like you who are so passionate about their work and are child centered, children centered. Very, very true. Education, as we said, is constantly changing. And with you, I follow you. You are a blogger as well. And every Saturday or Sunday, you come up with some inspiring things, not only for children. I've seen you even working with the senior citizen, and I've seen how happy you keep them. I think people should follow you on YouTube and your blog, because you learn so many different things about education or life. Sagarika, can you throw some more light about it?
Sure. I really understand, and after having experienced so much in the field of education, and having traveled so much, I've traveled to many countries, many countries, and I have mixed around with the culture, with the people. See, going to a country and staying in a 5-star is very easy, but then being with the people is what I would love to and learn. And that's how, while I travel in trains with them, rather than just sitting in a seat, I try to move with the smokers who are close to the toilet. So that's where then I learn, what people think about the education system of their country, and what are they really up to in life, and what is the culture and things like this. So these are the places you would see me hanging out normally. So then I realized over a period of time that parenting has become very difficult, very difficult, because the children have too much of exposure, and they are spoiled by choice. During our time, we came from a boarding school, we had very few things, we didn't have much exposure. Now with YouTubes, with Netflix, with Amazon, and with so many channels in the TV, there's too much. At a click of a button, you click on one button, and similarly you get so many videos on the right hand side coming in on a YouTube. And then what does the child choose? To what extent can you monitor the child? It's so difficult for a parent. And then nowadays, because of things, the way the generation is also moving, the generation is maturing very early, because of this exposure, they are maturing so early that a child who's in grade 4, it is like our grade 6, grade 7 is now grade 4.
Yeah.
So these challenges, I really, it's my heart goes out to the parents, because nowadays you see nuclear families,
Yeah.
you see single parents, you see same sex parents. So nowadays the parent ecosystem has also changed, and the kind of upbringing that these kids would have during our time, they had an influence of the grandparents, influence of the whole community, influence of their uncle, aunties, because it was a joint family system. So now that everything has changed, and then to add, both the parents are working. So it's a very difficult space. It's a very, very difficult space for the parent. And then I realized that no, with all the knowledge that I've given over a period of time, let me start blogging. So I started blogging, but then again I realized if I blog, then many of the people are not comfortable reading it. Then I said, okay, now let me start vlogging. So I started my video, this thing, every Sunday, as you said, every Sunday at around 10 o'clock, I leave a particular message for around, I don't make it very long, because again, parents can't take in too much. They are also bombarded by information. So it has to be very short and very crisp. But yeah, I do speak to them about various topics, and then the parents who watch me, they get back to me, and that is how then I counsel the parents also, I counsel children also. And nowadays we have children who are really differently abled. There's a new generation coming up of children who are differently abled. And now during this COVID times, we have these children. Imagine the children who are born now in 2019, 20, 21. They haven't come out of the house. I mean, I have a child over here close to me. It's a small baby who was born in 2020. And the moment I remove my mask, the child starts crying after watching me. Because that's what the child knows. The child has seen us with only mask. The child doesn't know that we have a mouth, So can you imagine the psychology that the whole psychology of the whole makeup of these children is going to be different. So we as educators, when these children come to school, the moment they come to school, it's going to be around 3 years time when they'll be coming to school. In 3 years, we will have to revamp our complete education system to deal with children like this. We'll have to, because these children aren't social. They aren't social, absolutely. They haven't mixed around with people. They are not out in the environment. They're just closed in those 4 walls, and they've only just seen their parents.
So right.
So this is the challenge, And secondly, also you spoke about the senior citizen. Yes, as much as I'm passionate about small kids and children, I'm very passionate about senior citizens also. My heart goes out to them, because somewhere I feel that they are lonely. That everyone, the children nowadays, again, see, I come back to the nuclear family again and again, because they are all alone. Their children have moved abroad. And even if they are in the same city, they live differently. I mean, they live separate, not differently, sorry, they live separately. And then the couple, or maybe even single, they are just by themselves, and they are so lonely. And especially during this COVID times, initially at least I used to see these senior citizens going out to the garden, talking to people, having walks together, discussing politics, having their laughter clubs, and doing a lot of things. But now, last 2 years have been really sad for them. As much as it is for the children, it is the same for that age group. And then I thought, maybe let me just engage with them. If I can just bring a smile on their face. And they always say, if the morning is good, if the day is good, then if you have a good morning, your day will be fine. So I ensure that in the morning at around 7:45, I engage with them. I tell them a story. It could be a moral story. It could be a real life story, anything, And thereafter that, I share a health tip with them. And then for 5 or 7 minutes max, how much ever they can, I make them dance on a bhajan. So that dancing on a bhajan serves two purposes. It's also movement and exercise, and little bit of aerobics. But the bhajan is, like something like Hare Rama, Hare Krishna chants, Sai Baba chants. So all these chants can also, you're also speaking out, you're rewiring your brain. You're absolutely rewiring your brain. It's making you very fresh. And if you see the videos on YouTube of these senior citizens, the way they dance to the tune, it's a treat to the eyes, I tell you, Shibani. It's a treat to the eyes. And I think this is what I want to give back to the society. Because
I have watched that.
Yeah, I have got a lot from the society, and now this is the time that I really want to give back during times of COVID by taking care of the parents on again happy parenting my channel, then taking care of the senior citizen and counseling children who are really finding it very difficult to handle times like this, wherein they are in a conflicting situation, the lot of fights at home, the mother and the father, they really don't know how to take care of the children, because there was never a time in the past that all three or four were all together in one space. Either the
So
mother
right.
was out, the child was alone, either the father was out, the mother and the child were there. And it was so that it was only the night, maybe for a couple of hours, that the whole
Yeah,
family used to be together. But now it's been not days, not hours, not months, but year. Now it's more than a year. So can you imagine that space is a very infected space right now? Very, very infected space.
very true.
How do we get this out is a challenge. And as much as I can, I'm happy. I'm very, very, very happy to deal with parents and children and senior citizens who are facing such times, such vulnerable times. And I'm very happy to help them out, counseling them, speaking to them, and whatever I can. All my services are absolutely free, absolutely free.
That is so beautiful, Sagarika, because I myself have so many mornings I woke up and I've put on the YouTube and I listen to you. Trust me, I do listen to you, and they're very motivating. What is your channel called? So, if my viewers want to have a look at what you do with the senior citizens or with the children, or your vlog, whatever you say in it, do you have a name for it so that they can go Google it?
Just go to YouTube. On YouTube, just type Dr. Sagareeka Roy Bhatia. The moment you type Dr. Sagareeka Roy Bhatia on YouTube, you'll get all the engagements that I have
Right.
throughout 1 year. Throughout 1 year, all the engagements are available there. And I
Thank
would love
you.
it if people can like and subscribe the channel.
That's so
Don't
nice.
grow more. It would only help
That
me
would be
grow.
so good.
That's the
Mandar
least
thinks,
I can ask from the
yes.
society. That's the least I can ask from the society.
No, absolutely. I'm sure everybody is going to get something back, because today, whatever you're telling me, it is just happening in every household. It is a common story, but some people don't talk about it. And then when you're telling, it just highlights things, and you sit back and think about it and say, yes, it's so true that we are spending so much time with ourselves, with people we only met during the night, or we hardly even sat on the same table and had food together, and suddenly things are different, which we never even imagined it to ever happen. Mandar says you're doing an excellent work, and if you think, Shinali says that she really thinks that you have rightfully pointed out that the challenges of parenting and the high level exposure to media children are having today, it's just appalling, to be honest, because as you said, you can't even control what's in there. So it's quite sad, truly.
And these
um
kids are, they're technology natives. They're technology natives. So then they're so fast and so swift with everything that for us parents, just with a blink of an eye, and they are, and there are so many sites, open sources are there, so much of porn, so much of negativity, so many things are there, with so much of positive, there's also a lot of negativity. So
you're
it's
absolutely right. To go on a little lighter, we have some beautiful pictures of yours, because you travel a lot as well. I remember watching something. I follow you on YouTube, I follow you on Facebook. You even went up to the Pakistan border and you had a nice time going across the border as well. But we have some pictures for our viewers to have a look. So without wasting time, let's have a look. Sagarika, I'm going to take one more step forward. And I want to ask you that you have done so much for the society, and you may feel that this is your passion, obviously. And I know you didn't do it. None of us do it because we want people to recognize it. But there are people out there who recognize the good work you do. And I can see you won so many awards. Would you like to name some of them, and how did that happen?
Yeah, Shibani, actually, yeah, as you rightly said that, we don't do things for the sake of awards. But yeah, when you're on social media, I'm very, very, I mean, very prompt with social media. So I'm there on Insta, I'm there on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and of course YouTube. So people watch, and that's when then they recognize, and then they give you titles, they give you awards. I mean, and sometimes also it is such that it is important also to get awarded at the same time. You know, though I mean, you wouldn't want to do anything for awards, but then getting awarded, the moment you get that kind of recognition, you can take multiple steps ahead. So nothing becomes a barrier. Once you get awarded, people know that okay, you're awarded for your good work, then people give you many more platforms to work on, and that's been a success story. That's been a success story. That's why very very consciously, I would say, very consciously, I post everything that I do on social media, because unless I don't post on social media, I won't get that kind of recognition to help the society. Like when
Right.
I'm working with children with cancer, you've seen the picture of children with cancer. I require funds. I do require funds to work with children with cancer. So how do I get the funds? I have to generate them. I can't, I mean, my pocket size is not all that big to help the whole community. So in order to do that, unless I don't post it on social media, unless people don't watch it, I don't have then people donating to me. So that's why I put it there, and that's where then people award me, and then I ask for donations as well. Like for example, if you saw this Nisar, it's a small this thing. I mean, during COVID, I really realized that the way people were fighting for oxygen. Imagine oxygen, something that is free, but we never, we took it for granted. We absolutely took this oxygen for granted, and people in India died because of lack of oxygen. There was lack of oxygen cylinders available. I mean, this is something that I mean, I mean, we couldn't really imagine that this would be such a time we would be facing such a time. So immediately I took to tree plantation. I said, okay, our generation, we are facing this, but at least let's do something for the next generation, the generation who's coming. Let's give them a safer space and a better space. We've destroyed our cities for planting. I mean, we've destroyed our plants to build buildings in the city. But then the thing is that it's very important now that the next generation which is going to come has to have a better living. We've given them houses, but then what about if they are in the houses, but what about the surroundings? So that's why I have taken up, it's my mission. It's my mission to at least plant around a lakh of trees in and around Mumbai, just in and around Mumbai. So I am on a mission, and people have been donating a lot of money, and donations are most welcome. They get an ATG certificate for the donation, and every donation is being used. Every plant that is planted is geotagged. The plant that is planted is geotagged, and it's a sustainable development project wherein these plants generate income for the farmers. For the farmers, 10 years down the line, they'll be able to earn money with the mango trees, the teak trees, and things like this. So it's a sustainable development project. Plus, at the same time, it's creating greener spaces, and when you geotag a plant, that farmer becomes a friend, because you
You're
are
so
monitoring
right.
the plant that you've donated. You're monitoring the plant which you've donated, and you see the plant grow, and you see how the farmer is taking care of the plant. So the gap between the society and the farmers, I'm trying to bridge that as well through this particular project, so that every farmer has a friend in the city, and whatever the farmer requires, the friend in the city can take care of, and whatever the city friend requires from the farmer, the city friend can take care of, So the city friend can also take the children and go and speak to the farmer, sit with the farmer, and have a lunch, brunch, whatever, with the family together. So this is such a beautiful space, if you really go to see, that can be created. And I am through my project Nisarg, this is what I'm trying to do. And I only pray that Lord Almighty shows me a path wherein I can do this. And I'm very sure that if you do something good, the universe is also there with you to help you and to guide you and take you ahead. So that has
Absolutely.
always been how it has been going. Yeah.
Yes, Sagarika, I totally agree with you. And I'm sure you will get all the success because it's a mission you started. There is a Bengali, Tagore had written this, Jadi তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে একলা চলো রে. But
Yeah.
then people will follow you. You start alone. Don't worry who's following you. You will have followers. And as you can see, you know what? We have Sachin Olkar joining us as well. He's watching. Sachin says that kudos to your selfless work, Sagarika. You're doing very well. And this is also our Sanjeev Nerds. They're all our classmates. So, and my next question was about the plantation project you were doing, you are doing, and it's amazing. But going back to education, then, as an educationist, I also want to know that is there any new changes? Because I know you moved to Punjab and there was something about that you can throw a highlight. What changes have you brought over there?
Oh, yes. This is something even actually I would love to speak about. And this was something that I didn't know was coming my way. But again, it goes back to Sanjeevan Vidyalaya. In Sanjeevan Vidyalaya, it was a Sports Authority of India school also. And sports was given a lot of importance. We had a beautiful ground, which most of the city schools don't have. So we were really blessed to be in that space where we had green valleys and such a huge Sharat Pandit Stadium where we
Yes.
had all types of sports. There was nothing that we didn't play: cricket, football, basketball, swimming, running, marathons. I mean, marching. We had the house system. I mean, we've done everything over there. Thereafter, when I came back to Mumbai city, in the city schools, I had been working with the elite crowd, because international schools, obviously, it's only the creme de la creme of the society who can afford that kind of fees for IGCSE and IB curriculum. So then it's 24 years that I've given to this kind of society. But again, as I said, Shibani, this is time that I think I should just give back to the society. So I took up this particular turnkey project of moving to Mohali. And why Mohali is because Punjab is known for sportsmen. You have the Punjab. Punjab is known for not only sportsmen, even the Indian Army. So many. I mean, it has its own regiment. Punjab has its own regiment. And Ludhiana is known for its sportswear. There are a lot of sportswear, and the cricket bats and all are manufactured in Ludhiana. And Mohali has its own stadium. So Punjab is known for sports. So I got a chance to join hands with such a company who's really working for sportsmen. And they're working for sportsmen. They're developing sportsmen from grassroots level, from the interiors of Mizoram, Manipur. Very, very, very poor children and first generation learners. And but then they are passionate about football. And now that Khelo has also come up, a lot of importance is being given to sports. So this opportunity, I didn't want to miss it. And I always believe that if you really want to grow in life, you have to get out of your comfort zone. I was very, very, very comfortable in Mumbai, extremely comfortable in Mumbai. I know the nook and corner of Mumbai. People in Mumbai know me. I'm a known figure here. But then I said, nothing doing Sagarika. This is the time that I think you must just move, get out of this Mumbai comfort zone and go and find a different space. And that space, I've been there for almost 1.5 years now. And I've been educating these players. It's been very challenging for me because the psychology of a player is very different as compared to the psychology of a normal child. Learning takes a backseat always. So how do I deliver learning how do I teach these kids has been challenging. But then I was also lucky to get in touch with University of Thessaly, and University of Thessaly, Greece. They have a course on child psychology, on player psychology. So child psychology, I've already done plenty of courses, but now I'm doing a course on sports management and player psychology. Now, once I know the player psychology, I'm imparting knowledge. Now, whatever knowing their psychology, I'm imparting knowledge even that way. You know, so that's an alternate system that alternate learning system that I've created there, because normally in a normal school you have 80% curriculum, 20% co-curricular, extracurricular. But my model over there is absolutely, it's the opposite. It's 20% education and 80% sports. So that 20% time of education, how do I deliver the curriculum and to children with that kind of mindset, plus being first generation learner. So now you can see the challenge, but that
I
is the
can.
kick that I get. But that's the kick that takes me there. And that's a new learning for me, absolutely new learning for me. And I'm looking forward to start a school. Because of COVID, things have been a little slow. All the construction workers have gone back home, but we are going to come up with an academy, a sports academy there, a world class sports academy. And I'm looking forward to developing the learning in that academy. So it's a turnkey project for myself for the next 5 years. That is what I plan to do, and plan to develop learning with sportsmen.
Oh, Sagarika, do you sleep? Do you sleep? And you have such beautiful two boys, and they are grown and they are well educated. I don't know how you play this multiple role constantly. And besides that, you have even written a book. When do you get this time? Please tell me. I need that inspiration from you because you're full of energy. Even now, when I look at you, you're inspiring, you're positive. I need some of those from you. How do you manage, and what is this about your book?
Yeah, I always wanted to be an author, because I'm very passionate about writing. And I was wondering that how do I go about doing it. But then the moment I got very comfortable, see, writing, it would, I actually write, I would love to write, but then again, with so many things, time is a constraint. Time is actually a constraint. So then the moment I got comfortable with phone, what I would do is, whenever I would travel, or I'm just sitting outside somebody's office, when I was a principal, I had to go to government offices. And once you go to a government office, you just have to be just seated there for 2 3 hours until you meet the PM or the education minister or whatever it is. So wherever I'd been traveling, wherever I had a little time I had, I would just quickly put down my thoughts on the phone. And this is how then I collected thoughts on the phone. And then I started elaborating on it. So, and when you talk about time, how do I find time? Yes, of course, Shibani, I would say that, yeah, I'm a very disciplined person, very, very disciplined, very self-motivated. I really don't look for motivation from anybody. And when it is discipline, I go by the clock. I'm absolutely by the clock person. Wake up at 4:30 in the morning, do my morning routine, and then and I said, it's very important to complete that morning routine, that meditation, because whole day when you have to have a tough time, you have to be emotionally very strong, very strong. So that emotional strength that I get of dealing with parents, with children, with society, with management, with my own household, with my caretakers, with class 4 in the school, dealing with so many people. For me, it's only whole day I'm just dealing with people, nothing else. So when you deal with so many people from so many backgrounds, you're the mental strength, you have to be very strong. And that mental strength I get from my early morning, they call it the Brahma Muhurt. The Brahma Muhurt meditation really helps me. It helps me a lot. So I do that meditation in the morning. When I do, after that meditation, I do a little bit of pranayam. After pranayam, it's exercising, little bit of, because breathing, your lungs, your capacity has to be there to be whole day. Because, and whole day your journey is not easy. It's like a fighting. It's your whole day is like a fighter. Like a fighter, I need to shift roles
Yes.
every time. Shifting roles every time is difficult. So then that shift and everything, I think I derive all this energy through my spiritual journey. I really, it's not God, any God as such that I believe in, but I believe in the universe. I really believe in the strength of the universe that gives that you can get from the universe, and there is no boundary to what you think. You won't imagine, Shibani. I have done my neuroscience and human cognition. It is only 1% of our brain that we have right now. Right now, that when we are talking, just 1%. Imagine
Yes.
we are capable of using the 99 also, but we just want to just stay back and just enjoy. So I
Yes, sir.
think, yeah, yeah. So that is what I've been doing, and this is what I get my strength from a lot of chanting, and I surround myself only with positive people. The moment I see that somewhere there is negativity, I quietly distance myself from there. I just distance. I don't speak bad. It's my, I mean, it's something that I practice in the morning when I brush my teeth and when I clean my tongue. While cleaning my tongue, I tell myself that, Sagrika, you're cleaning this tongue. See that this tongue only speaks good. Please don't misuse this. Very
This is
important.
so beautiful.
So this is what I keep telling myself every, lot of self talk. So in the morning when I clean my tongue, this is what I always say, that, Sagrika, this is, the tongue is your power. The tongue is the power. The tongue, if you use it very well, sar pe taj, you can get, you can be really adorned by a crown. But if the tongue, if you don't use it wisely, it can just destroy you completely. So this is one organ of yours. If you take care of this particular organ, I think it can take you places. It can take you places. Yes.
So rightly said.
That is what has got me to your show too, Shibani. Not just
No,
that.
Sagarika, I do look for inspiring people. As you know, the whole idea of Triveni was, as you see, our vision. It is inspiring, empowering, and entertaining, obviously. As I People always say, how do you manage to get celebrities on your show? Yes, being a Sanjeevanite, we have studied with elite colleagues of ours. We were surrounded by all these people who are something in the society today. But my show is not to bring only the celebrities speaking only about their movies, and I want to bring, there are people who are really excelling in different field of their life. And today, honestly, Sagarika, if anyone is watching you today, I think they will learn a lot of things. And I'm taking back, which obviously I do fall back sometimes. I'm spiritual like you, and I do stay away from negative people, but then I have my downfall as well. But yes, first thing I'll take from you, a routine. Waking up at 4:30 is not my cup of tea, but yeah, I'll try. Meditating, sometime I do my meditation, but I understand where you get the time because you have a disciplined life. And this is something my viewers should take back from this show today. And every episode of mine, I want people to take back something. This is all about educating. We are learning every day.
I would also like to add, Shibani, that good sleep is very important. Very important. If you want to, good sleep is important, good food is important. So rest, good food, and good people to be surrounded by. I think these things are the primary. For any human being to be there, you have to have these things around you. You know?
So true. So, Sagarika, Dr. Sagarika Roy Bhatia, I just love your name. Baby, being a Bengali, you did say that from Sanjeevan, not only we think out of the box, music was also something you discovered among yourself. I'm not going to let you go without you singing something for us.
Oh, I would love to do that. Why not? Why not?
Please,
Hindi song?
anything that you would like to
No, I
present
mean,
to me.
what would your crowd like to hear? Do you have, what kind of
Oh, no,
crowd do you
we
have?
have a lot of Indian crowd, everybody.
Okay,
Music
okay.
has no language.
It has no
So,
language,
yeah,
but something that is soothing to the ears.
yes,
Done, done, done. Something for all of these people
ho
who are
jaye, ho jaye.
the yes, for all of the viewers. लाखों है यहाँ दिल वाले और प्यार नहीं मिलता आंखों में किसी की वफा का इकरार नहीं मिलता लाखों है यहाँ दिल वाले महफिल महफिल जा देखा हर दिल में समा कर देखा हर साज पे गा कर देखा दिल को कहीं चैन ना मिला रे दिल को कहीं, चैन ना मिला, ये तो दुनिया में प्यारे अकेला ही रहा, लाखों है यहाँ दिल वाले और प्यार नहीं मिलता, आंखों में किसी की वफा का.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Suddenly there was a glitch in Sagarika's uh, internet. But
Yeah.
yes, Sagarika, you're back just on time because I was lost in that melody of yours. And suddenly there was this glitch. I said, oh no. But how beautiful. And you picked up the right song. Absolutely
Yeah,
nice.
I think I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, before I know we have so much to talk, so much to talk, but
Shibani, I'm back.
yes, I can hear you, but I think there is still a glitch. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
That's, before we go, I just want to know one more thing. What is your goal further? I know you have so many plans, but what is your next step?
Yeah. My next goal is to have a home for senior citizens. I would really like to plant trees is the next. With that, it is also a home for senior citizen somewhere close to Mumbai, wherein I'm looking forward, especially for senior citizens whose children are abroad. Whose children are abroad and they are alone over here. They have a lot of money, but then they lack that company and that security. Things are cities are getting very dangerous for senior citizens, so they require a space wherein they can breathe freely and enjoy the last days of the life, the last inning. And actually I'm also going to name my senior citizen home as the last inning. And that last inning, I want to make it very, very, very beautiful for them. Very beautiful for them, very joyous for them. And I just want them to enjoy that time in good health, in good surroundings, and in good company also. So that is what my dream is all about. Yeah.
Wow, Sagarika, do reserve a space for me because I want to retire back home somewhere in a beautiful location like Lonavala or Matheran, where there's greenery and beauty. Not that UK doesn't have its beauty, but you know what? Your roots are where you were born and you were brought up. So I have always seen most of the people, even when they are in UK, when they get older, they want to go back to their roots. That's something even I want to. Hopefully, one day don't know about it, but this is such a
No, and
beautiful
I've
thought.
been sharing this on various platforms. I've been sharing my dream on various platforms because only when I share it is it going to come true. Maybe someday somebody will give me some space where I can create, I can create something. So that's why I'm very loud. And as I told you that, I do put up things on social media because that's where I will be able to get space. I'll be able to get donations and I'll be able to live the dream that I am, because alone I won't be able to achieve anything. I need people with me for me to have my dreams come true.
You have all of us. We all are here. I've got another person called Hasina Khalifa. They do a Suraya Foundation in UK. And just like your thought, they also look after all elderly senior citizen. And their
One.
mission is to raise money. I met them yesterday
Oh,
in one of these restaurants, and they had come to promote their foundation. And Hasina, thank you for joining us today because Hasina is one of the but she also works for this NGO where they look after senior citizen and they are having the same mission as you. What a
one.
coincidence. But it's so it was really, really wonderful to have you, Sagarika, on my show today. I feel with a heavy heart. I have to say that we'll have to end it here, but this is not the end. I want you back in my show again sometime with more inspiring stories and people try and learn more from you. I mean, it's wonderful having you, Sagarika. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Namaste. Pleasure has been absolutely mine, Shivani. And thank you once again for having me on your platform. And yes, you can share my number with people. You can share my social handles with them. And I would love people to get in touch with me. And as I said, I just want to give back, just give back, and just give back. So, with
Thank
no your motive so people can get in touch with me, and I'm ready to help them in whatever way I can. Yes.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you. And Hasina, thank you so much for even joining with us, because uh, your Suraya Foundation really inspired me. I would love to have you all on the show as well. As Triveni also puts all its sponsor money and whatever they make out of it goes through ILUK or some person who are always in need of some donation or trying to help. And this is what we can do. Every little matters. And we have Shinali, who said she's very, very happy that you are on our show. You're a wonderful guest, Sagarika. Thank you
Thank you.
again. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Shibani. Thank you.
And Gurdas thinks it's a wonderful vision. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.